What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the JuiceBox, presented by LOCKCITY. It's Claw here today, and I hope you guys are all having a great start to the weekend. Today we'll have episode number 209 of the JuiceBox with an outlook into the Friday MLB slate. But before we get into it, just a reminder, hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, whatever platform you listen to. We'd really appreciate that. But without further ado, let's recap yesterday. Not great. The Brewers lost 2-0. The other juice box plays didn't go as well either. But it's a new day. So let's get in to the slate and get some winners for today. The first game that we'll talk about is the Nationals at the Cubs. We've got Jake Irvin versus Javier Assad. We've got Jake Irvin 8-10 with a 5.42 ERA. On the road this year, 5.67 ERA. Last few road starts, 3 earned at Philly, 6 earned at KC, 3 earned at San Francisco. I think that he's going to struggle here. Wind is also blowing out in Wrigley. It's one of the most receptive fields to weather in terms of runs being scored and not being scored. And the Cubs, they bat pretty well versus Jake Irvin, 293 average, 480 slug, and 75 plate appearances. I think they'll get to Jake Irvin today. On the other hand, we've got Javier Assad, 1-1, 4.05 ERA. And at home this year, he's got a 2.25 ERA. But I do think that the Nationals bats can score a few runs off him. They've got a lot of lefties in this lineup, especially their bigger bats, C.J. Abrams, James Wood. And he's letting lefties so far, limited sample size, but they're batting .320, slugging .600 off him. I think that the Nationals are in a good spot here to score a few runs themselves. That leads me to the best bet here is going to be the over 10.5. You can get that at -118 right now. The next game up that we'll talk about is the Royals and the Twins. It looks like we've got Pablo Lopez versus Michael Wacha. Pablo Lopez coming back, making his first start off of the IL. Really want to fade him here. Don't really know how long he's going to go in this game, but I think that it's going to be a tough go for him today. I know he faced the Twins or the Royals twice already this year, and he pitched pretty well. But first start back, could be a lot of rust here, and the Royals are playing for something. They're 2 games out of a wild card. The Twins season is over, and on the other hand, we've got Michael Wacha, 8-11, 3.52 ERA. And his ERA is 3.01 at home. I think this is a really good spot for him to bounce back here versus the Twins. He's absolutely dominated this lineup in his career. 48 plate appearances. They're only batting .125 and slugging .292 versus him. I think that Wacha can shut them down, and I think that the Royals bats will be able to get some off of Pablo Lopez, and even if they don't, I don't trust the Twins bullpen. So I do like the Royals here. They're also 3-1 versus the Twins on the year. So with that being said, my best bet in this one is going to be Royals money line. You can get them at -130. And the final game that we'll talk about is the Mets at the Reds. We've got David Peterson versus Andrew Abbott. This is a really important series here for both teams. The Mets and the Reds are both chasing the wild card spot here, and the Mets are 5 games up on the Reds, so the Reds really need to win this series to have any chance probably at getting into the wild card. So David Peterson, 8-5, 3.61 ERA. On the road this year, he's got a 3.44 ERA. Last few road starts, 2 earned at Atlanta, 1 earned at Washington, 1 earned at San Francisco, 1 earned at Baltimore. So he's pitched really well on the road this year and recently. He also just faced this Reds team about a month ago in Cincinnati, 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 4 strikeouts. And I think that he can pitch pretty well. Again, here today, this is going to probably have a playoff atmosphere here, but the Reds versus lefties haven't really been doing much of anything at all. They did get 3 runs off of Matthew Liberatore, but they got shut out, or they only got 1 run off of Kershaw. They only got 1 run off of Kikuchi, only got 1 run off of Quintana. Imanaga only 1 run. There's David Peterson again. Minaya 1 run. Ranger Suarez 1 run. They did get a couple off of Christopher Sanchez, but after that, there's a lot of 1s and there's a lot of 0s. So I do like David Peterson to pitch well here. On the other hand, we've got Andrew Abbott, 8-5 with a 2.65 ERA. He's been really, really good this year. 2.11 ERA at home. And if we look at his last few home starts, 2 earned versus St. Louis, 7 shutout versus the Reds. He did let up 3 versus Philly. And he faced the Mets on the road earlier this year, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. The Mets versus lefties here, they've been hitting lefties lately. They got 4 off of Jesus Luzardo. They got 6 off of Christopher Sanchez, 6 off Joey Wentz, 3 off of Mackenzie Gore. Those are the last few lefties they faced. Before that, they weren't hitting lefties. They didn't get to Logan Allen, Hunt, Robbie Ray, but they did get to Tyler Anderson. So with that being said, I do think that the Mets are in a good spot to here in this game. I think I trust their offense a little bit more. The Mets over their last few games, they've scored 10, 12, and 2. And on the other hand, the Reds' offense has been red hot as well. But I think the bats kind of cool down a bit here. Again, playoff atmosphere, I think that this is a crucial series. And the Mets always show up in these big-time games. So give me the Mets on the money line here at -118. But the JuiceBox Lock of the day, we're going to go with the over in the Nationals and the Cubs game. So over 10.5. Let's lock that in. Let's cash, and we'll see y'all again here tomorrow. Peace.